What's up guys, it's Connor from ConcreteLollipop here, and 2 days ago on Tuesday, the most anticipated and long-awaited game of 2012 arrived at my doorstep. As you can probably tell from the title, I'm on about Halo 4. Now, when I first got Halo 4, I jumped straight into the campaign and stuck it on normal, so I could get the gist of the story, also for the purposes of this review, so I could get it finished and review it for you guys. First few things I noticed were the massive upgrade, obviously in the graphics and also in the sounds of things like the weapons firing. They're just, they're amazing. My particular favourite has to be the assault rifle sound. It sounds like a proper machine gun now. And the graphics, I mean, some of the characters look like proper actors, especially in their close-ups. The details on their faces and everything, it's great. Now, I also noticed when I first stepped into combat that the difficulties had been ramped up, they've been improved. So even on normal, as I was playing through this game, I was getting my shields dropped in 2 shots by Covenant carbines, which I couldn't believe, to be honest. So it was supposed to be, I know, the hardest campaign of all the Halos yet, and I think that might have been why. Also, there have been some reintroductions of some weapons, so weapons from the Halos 1 and 2. So they brought back the battle rifle, and they brought back the Covenant carbine, as I said earlier, and the beam rifle, that Covenant sniper. I don't think it overheats after 2 shots anymore. It just has a battery, which is a lot better, I think. They're just some of the weapons they've reintroduced. And off the top of my head, I can think of one new introduction in weapons, which is the UNSC weapon. It's called the sticky detonator, which is basically a grenade launcher. When you fire the grenade, it sticks to something, which you can then remotely detonate whenever you like. So some really interesting introductions into the game in terms of weapons. Also, as you play through the campaign, you'll notice some new vehicles as well. Also, on top of these, there's also an entire new race they've thought up and brought into Halo 4. These are called the Prometheans. With this race comes a whole new array of weapons, their own weapons. Things like the suppressor, the bolt pistol, scatter shot and light rifle, among some others. A lot of the Prometheans weapons are just variants of Covenant and human weapons already in the game. They look a lot cooler, I think, a lot different anyway. And they fight sort of slightly different, like less or more accurate and maybe more damaging or whatever. So I know I was running through, picking up every weapon I saw and testing it out and things. It's just so much to get to know in this new Halo. And there's some of the some of the cool little introductions, some of the good points to this game. Now, I want to talk about 2 of the major letdowns for this game. The first one being the fact that the campaign is, in my opinion, too short. 8 missions long. I felt like it should have been longer. I finished it and I was like, oh, hang on, that's the end. Oh, I was left wanting more, which in a way is good because it shows that I enjoyed it. But they could have done it like the other Halos, where they had 12 or 13 missions and finished it as if it felt like they hadn't finished it properly. I've been sort of keep saying about that. That was probably the biggest one overall. Personally, for me, the biggest bad point is the next point, and which is the fact that 343 have killed off Cortana. She dies in the final mission, which I was so disappointed about. I mean, besides the Chief, I consider Cortana the next biggest character in Halo. And I really don't think they should have killed her off. It was a major disappointment when she did die. So those two coupled together made the end of the campaign feel like it wasn't anywhere near as good. But in terms of gameplay throughout the missions you do play, it is a lot better. And they've done things like nerfed the Scorpion and upgraded the Wraith, so they're a bit more even, things like that. No, I don't usually rate games, but if I had to give it out of 10 a rating, I would have to say 9, because I mean, things like the gameplay, the sounds, the clips, the graphics, they're just so good. But the letdowns of the shorter campaign and the death of, in my opinion, the wrong character means that I couldn't give it a 10 like I wanted to, because being a massive Halo fan, I just thought, oh, it's going to be a 10 straight away, but I'm not sure anymore, so I think. Hopefully in Halo 5, if they do the similar thing with the new introductions they did in Halo 4 that lengthen the campaign, that's going to be so good. Now, a bit later in the week, I will be reviewing multiplayer and Spartan Ops. I'm not sure if they'll be in the same video. Also, I'll be putting up a video on the locations of all the terminals in the campaign. And me, Joe and Oliver will be doing a legendary playthrough as well. So keep an eye out for those. Depending on any technical difficulties we encounter, because my laptop's been playing up. They may be up a bit later than expected. So just keep an eye out for those. Thanks for listening, keeping up with us. Obviously, remember, if you do subscribe to us, not only will it help us make us look better, but it will also mean that it will be a lot easier to see when we put up a new video for you guys. So I'll see you a bit later in the week with some of our Halo 4 videos. See you later.